is Monday, which means it's time for another video. This is the final video of my top 5 horror films of the 1980s. Obviously, I'm going to be covering 1989 today, and I just want to say it has been super fun doing this. This is the first time I've ever done it. I would like to thank Christian Hannah Horror, Cinema Terror, and Mountaintop 9, because if it wasn't for watching their videos, I wouldn't have come up with an idea to do this. It was all them, because like I said, I've watched their videos, and it kind of got me wanting to do my top 5s. But like I said, today I'm going to be doing 1989. There's not really that many movies from 1989 that really like interest me a lot, but I'm gonna start with the list with my number 5, and my number 5 is House 3. Well, technically, in the United States, it's called The Horror Show, but in the UK, it's called House 3: The Horror Show. I have the House box set that got released in the UK, so in the box set, I do have House 3: The Horror Show, and this is kind of like, this did come out, it says 1989, I don't know if it's 1989, 1988, it's kind of like, basically like Shocker, the movie Shocker, if you're familiar with that. I kind of like this a little bit more than Shocker. Lance Henriksen is in this. Basically, this guy gets put to death in the electric chair, but he comes back and starts killing. Like I said, basically like Shocker. And I guess this was a thing around this time where a lot of movies were kind of like, they use similar stories. Like, this is very similar to a movie like Prison. And I've never seen Prison, but from what I heard, it's kind of similar to that. But I like this movie. Should it be called House 3? No, because honestly, this has nothing to do with the House films. It strays off from the other thing, like the other House films. So it should just be called The Horror Show. That's why the United States just call it The Horror Show. But it's still a good movie. But that's my number 5. My number 4 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I still wanted to put it on the list just because I kind of grew up with this film back when I actually still watched cable. I don't even have cable now. I just watch movies, and I have like streaming services like Tubi and stuff. But when I was younger, AMC used to show horror movies on like Fridays and stuff, and it was always like, it was called Fear Friday. And they would always show like the same stuff, like Halloween 4, Halloween 5. So I kind of grew up with those two movies. So Halloween 5 I grew up with. Is it good? No. This is probably one of the worst in the series, other than Resurrection, in my opinion. I think the mask looks even worse than Halloween 4's mask. Don Shanks, who plays Michael Myers in this, he does a good job as Michael Myers, but it's just not a good film. Tina is awful. The kills are alright. That's about like the only redeemable thing about this. The kills are alright. One of my favorite kills is the death of Mikey. Cleverly named Mikey. He gets stabbed in the face with like the garden tools. I like that kill, but that's basically all I can really say about it. Why it's on this list? Because it's still like a watchable movie. It's kind of like with all these movies. Like, even with the Friday 13th, like Jason X, it's awful, but it's still watchable. Same with this. This is awful, but it's still watchable. But yeah, that's my number 4, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, number 3 is another franchise film, and that is Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I actually really like this movie, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of people put this below, like, on the bottom of their list. I enjoy this movie. Yes, does he take Manhattan? No, not really. He takes it for, like, 10 minutes. And some of the shots from New York are actually Vancouver. So, Jason takes Canada, basically. But, I do like the boat shots. Like, I think that's a cool concept. This is actually my favorite look of Jason of all time. Like, I love this look of Jason. I love that he looks slimy. He just looks disgusting. Kane Hodder does a great job as Jason in this. I enjoy this film. Um, like, it's not a bad film. One of my favorite kills is actually a bloodless kill, and that's when, what's her fucking name? Eve. She's running away from Jason. She's at like the little like dance area. Jason pops up behind her, and chokes her and lifts her up in the air and just throws her. From what I've heard, that she actually got thrown on the ground. Like, there wasn't a stunt double. She actually got thrown on the ground, which looks painful because he literally has her up at the ceiling and just chucks her. I love that kill. And I just, like, it's just a fun, like, the song, too, the theme song, The Darkest Side of the Night. I love that song, one of my favorites. It's just a fun film. A lot of these films are not to be taken seriously. And it's a shame that people don't like this film. Yeah, it shouldn't be called Jason Takes Manhattan, but it's still a good film, and Kane Hodder does his best. That's my number 3. My number 2 is... Oh, actually, wait. No, never mind. When I did the list originally, I put some things in the wrong places, but my number 2 is a movie called Intruder, which is a very, like, underrated slasher film. Like, I don't hear anybody ever talk about Intruder. It really should get talked about. It is a great slasher film. It's a shame that it came out in such a late time in the 80s, because there's some really, like, brutal fucking kills. It's fine because, like, Ted and Sam Raimi are both in this. Bruce Campbell makes an appearance at the end. This is directed by Scott Spiegel, who I think helped with the Evil Dead films. I don't know if I'm correct about that. But, it's basically this person is killing all these workers in a grocery store, which is a great concept, at night, too. There's a death scene where a guy gets his face sliced in half. Like, they show it, too. There's, like, it's just crazy how, like, brutal these deaths are. And it's a shame that, like, nobody ever talks about it, because this is a great film. Like, if you haven't seen it, really go check it out. It's definitely deserves to be talked about more. That's really all I'm going to say about it. But that's my number 2. Before I go on to my number 1, I'd like to name some honorable mentions. Sleep Like Ant 3, not a great film by any means, but still a watchable film. Society, just the shunting scene. Shunting and the orgy, it's just... it's bad. So gross, but it's still a good film. And then Cutting Class, which is like the film debut of Brad Pitt. Is it the film debut of Brad Pitt? I mean, it's one of his earlier works, like very, very early. This also has Jill Schoelen, who was also in The Stepfather, which I put as an honorable mention from the top 5 horror films in 1987. Great film. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. My number 1 is definitely one of the darker Stephen King film adaptations, and that is Pet Sematary. I actually like the book a little bit more. I remember reading the book. I was a freshman in high school. I read the book more than once, too. Like, I thought it was terrifying. And the movie is terrifying, too, if you think about it. Like, the whole concept of burying your loved ones and they come back from the dead. Like, I can't even imagine like, they bury their cat. I can't imagine, like, something happening to my cat and just burying my cat and he comes back and he's, like, evil. I can't even imagine doing something like that. And it's crazy because they do with the cat, and Louis Creed, he figures, oh, if I can do it with the cat, plot twist, yes, the boy dies. I think everybody who's watching this video has seen Pet Sematary, knows that Gage dies in the film. And he realizes if the cat can come back to life, why can't Gage? So he buries Gage, and Gage turns into this little demonic baby, and it's fucking scary. And Miko Hughes does an amazing job as Gage. Like, for a little kid to do something like that is amazing, because it's a little boy. Like, it's just nuts. And they did remake this in 2019. It's not better than the original, but it's not a bad film. They do twist it around a little bit where it's not Gage that dies, but it's still a decent film. But this is such a, like, classic, and I love the sequel too. Mary Lambert did an amazing job with this film. It shows that a woman can make something scary, like scarier than what a man could do. I'm not trying to be all like the whole sex thing, but it's just, she did an amazing job, and she also directed the sequel too, which also is great. But that's more comedy driven. This is more like serious, somber, just depressing. But yeah, that's my number one, Pet Sematary. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below with some of your fish from 1989. I really enjoy this, since I am going to be taking a break from doing top fives. So, in the meantime, you guys can give me your requests for movies that you want me to review, if I've seen them. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys on on Thursday.